There's a silence between you that speaks louder than any words ever could. And within this silence, something sacred is unfolding. The angels say he thinks of you constantly. The morning light reminds him of your presence, and every pause in his day echoes your name. Yet he says nothing. Why? Because this love is not simple. You are not sent to him by chance. Heaven brought your paths together with divine precision. You are not just a memory, you're a mirror. A soul who reflects back to him the very love he never believed he deserved. That's why it hurts so much to be apart. That's why he withdraws. The angels whisper, "You are not forgotten." You are his unanswered prayer, walking in flesh. Every part of you, your strength, your gentleness, the way you create space for others, is seen, felt, longed for. But this longing shakes the ground beneath his feet. Because he knows, once he speaks it aloud, everything changes. This is not just attraction. It's recognition. His soul remembers yours. That's why his heart races when he imagines your smile. That's why, even when surrounded by others, your absence is the loudest sound in the room. He misses you with a kind of ache that settles deep in the bones, the kind that only arises when something divine has touched the human. And yet, he hesitates. Not because he doesn't feel, but because what he feels is too intense, too sacred, too beautiful to risk tarnishing with imperfect words. The angels show him wrestling between longing and fear, between the call of his soul and the safety of silence. But you, dear soul, have already changed him. He may not say it. He may not know how. But your light has cracked open the stone doors of his heart. And even now, in secret, he is searching for a way back to you. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He doesn't stay away because he wants to. He stays away because something inside him is still afraid to come closer. The angels reveal that his heart holds ancient wounds, scars from betrayals he never speaks of, from love that once felt like safety but ended in silence. These aren't just memories. They're barriers. Walls built from fear, not indifference. He learned to protect himself not by healing, but by hiding. So when you appeared, so radiant in truth, so effortlessly yourself, it stirred something dormant. Something he thought he had buried for good. You brought light to places he never wanted to be illuminated. Why her? He's asked himself. Why now? But his soul already knows. It's not about logic. It's about remembering a love he thought no longer existed. And still, he retreats. He doesn't know how to love without armoring his heart. Every step toward you feels like peeling off layers he's clung to for survival. And yet, your presence makes him want to try, to trust, to heal. The angels say, his silence is not rejection. It is a scream for help that only the soul can hear. He wants to be close to you. He wants to hold your hand in a room full of noise and no peace. But he fears that if you truly saw all of him, the ache, the darkness, the doubt, you'd walk away. Just like others did before. He doesn't know yet that you're not here to judge his shadows. You were sent to love him through them. This connection you feel, it's not imagined. It's divinely woven. But timing matters. And healing takes time. Don't doubt your worth because of his distance. You are not too much. You are exactly what his soul has been searching for, even if his wounds haven't yet let him receive it. The angels ask you to remember, the deeper the love, the louder the fear. There is a sacred truth the angels want you to remember now. You are not here to fix him. You are here to be you. You carry a softness that heals, a presence that changes the atmosphere. But even the most divine light needs rest. And lately, you've forgotten to turn that gentleness inward. Yes, he's important. But so are you. You've spent nights wondering what more you could have done. You've replayed words, replayed silences, searching for answers that were never yours to bear. But the angels say, your love was never the problem. His fear was. In this pause, in this space between what you feel and what he can accept, there is a sacred invitation for you to breathe, to nourish your spirit, to remember that your worth does not depend on how deeply he sees you, but on how fully you choose to see yourself. Let your love be expansive, not exhausting. The angels whisper, you are never meant to shrink to fit into someone else's delay. Let your joy return. Reconnect with the music that moves you, the light that uplifts you, the places where your laughter echoes freely. Because your soul was made to bloom, not just in someone else's garden, but in your own. And the more you choose yourself, the more you rise in truth and softness, the more magnetic you become. He will feel it. Your energy, untamed and unapologetic, is what first drew him in. And it's what will continue to awaken him, even in silence. Love him. Pray for him. But don't disappear for him. Your light is not here to be dimmed. It is here to be seen. The angels are holding you now, reminding you that true love never asks you to lose yourself. He looks at you and sees everything he's been trying not to feel. That's the unspoken truth the angels are now revealing. You don't just make his heart race, you make his soul tremble. Because in you, he sees the truth he's been avoiding, that love can be real, raw, and transformative. You are his mirror. And mirrors, dear soul, do not lie. The angels whisper, when he looks at you, he sees both the light he craves, and the shadows he's hidden. Your presence disarms him. Not because you push, but because you don't. You exist in your truth. And that truth reveals the places inside him still waiting to be healed. You don't need to ask him what he feels. He's already told you through the way he stares a second too long. In the pauses. In the distance that aches with meaning. What he fears is not you, it's who he becomes around you. Because you awaken him. To possibilities. To tenderness. To vulnerability. And yet, awakening hurts. It strips away every story he built to protect himself. Every mask. Every defense. The closer he gets, the more exposed he feels. That's why he retreats, not because you are too much, but because you reveal everything he has kept hidden. He's not ready for the reflection, but he cannot look away. The angels show him in stillness, thinking of you, feeling both drawn to you and undone. You've become a sacred question in his heart. And deep down he knows, there's no going back to who he was before you. He may never say it aloud. But something in him shifts every time he thinks of you. Because love, when pure, reveals not just what's beautiful, but what's buried. And your love has done both. You are not his confusion. You are his compass. Even if he doesn't know how to follow it yet. There is a stirring in him now. Quiet. Subtle. But undeniable. You might not see it yet. But the angels do. They show glimpses. Moments he almost reached out. Words he nearly said. The tears he blinked away when your name appeared in his thoughts. Something inside him is waking up. The angels whisper, you lit a candle in his soul that won't go out. It started as resistance. Doubt. The urge to walk away. But now, the silence is different. It's not distance, it's digestion. He's sitting with emotions he's never dared to name. Because the truth, no matter how delayed, always finds its way to the surface. And you were the catalyst. Your love, unforced, unpretentious, has become his mirror, his invitation, his ache. He sees you everywhere now, in songs, in strangers' eyes, in dreams that feel more like memories than imagination. He doesn't understand it, but he feels it. And feelings don't lie, even when the words do. This is the beginning of his return, not in body perhaps, not just yet, but in spirit, in recognition, in longing that no distraction can numb. The angels say, a heart that has once tasted truth cannot go back to sleep without breaking. You were never meant to chase, only to reflect what love looks like when it's sacred. And now, that reflection is calling him back to himself. Through you. He's waking. Slowly. But surely. And when his soul is ready, he will come. Not because you asked, but because the call inside him can no longer be ignored. He comes close, then vanishes. A rhythm you know all too well. But this is not cruelty. It's fear dressed in silence. The angels reveal, his soul is tethered to yours, even when his mind tries to deny it. He walks away not because he forgets you, but because remembering you is overwhelming. There's a pattern in him, deep-rooted, forged by disappointment, by promises once made and broken. He fears becoming the one who breaks again, or the one who is broken. So he returns, and retreats, again and again. Each time he feels safe enough to step toward you, something inside recoils. A memory, a fear, a voice whispering, "Don't get too close." And yet, every time he leaves, he carries more of you with him. This is not a game. It's a cycle, a spiritual cycle. The angels show you as the calm in his storm. But even peace, to someone used to chaos, can feel terrifying. He wants you, but he doesn't know if he deserves you. And that doubt keeps pulling him backward, even as his heart pulls him forward. The angels say, he loves you in fragments. Not because he chooses to, but because he's still learning to love himself whole. And still, every return is a little braver than the last. You might wonder if this will ever stop, if he'll ever stay. But understand, this is not a rejection of you. It's a confrontation with every wound he's tried to outrun. You are not the cause of his confusion. You are the catalyst for his clarity. And one day, when the cycles exhaust their lessons, he'll stay. Not out of guilt, not out of fear, but because his soul will finally be ready to rest where it always belonged. With you. Love is doing what time and logic never could. It is unraveling the knots inside him, without pressure, without demands. Just presence. The angels say, your love is healing him even when he's silent. Especially then. You don't have to touch him to reach him. Your energy already wraps around the bruised corners of his spirit. It soothes the chaos that used to rule his nights. You've become his quiet, his prayer, his question. This isn't about grand gestures or declarations. It's about how you hold space for him, even when he disappears into himself. You don't chase. You don't push. You see. And that, dear soul, is the rarest kind of love. You have loved him from the soul, not the surface. And slowly, that love is melting walls that decades of pain have built. He may not have told you, but the angels hear it in his thoughts. Why do I feel safe in her presence? Because your love is not loud. It's sacred. He remembers your voice when the world goes quiet. He remembers your softness when shame rises. He remembers your patience, and it humbles him. You've given him something no one else did, the permission to feel and still be worthy. And though he struggles to receive it fully, he already knows, this is not ordinary. You are not ordinary. You are divine intervention in human form. The angels ask you not to doubt the impact of your heart. He may be slow to show it, but his soul is healing in the warmth of your silent prayers. You didn't rescue him. You reminded him he was never broken. And that is medicine. He doesn't know how to articulate it, but he feels it. This isn't a coincidence. It's divine choreography. The angels whisper, you didn't find each other. You were guided. There were too many signs. Too many accidents that weren't. Conversations that opened hearts. Glances that silenced time. A recognition that shook the foundations of what both of you believed love to be. Even now, while he hesitates, heaven is not. You may feel like nothing is changing, but in the unseen, everything is. There are prayers being answered that you forgot you whispered. There are delays that are actually protection. Every silence, every pause, has been woven into something sacred. This is a season of divine patience. He is being prepared, not punished. And so are you. The angels say, God is not in a hurry. Because what's being built here is meant to last. You're not waiting in vain. You're being refined. He's being softened. And the love that will emerge from this process, if both of you allow it, will be unlike anything you've ever known. Yes, it would be easier if he just came forward now. If he just said what you feel in your bones. But ease is not the goal. Depth is. And so you're asked to trust. Even when it hurts. Even when it's quiet. You are not forgotten. Your angels have gone before you, clearing paths, aligning hearts, rewriting timelines so that the reunion doesn't just happen, but happens in a holy manner. For we walk by faith, not by sight. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. There's a part of him that wants to run straight to you, and a part that still hides behind a wall of silence. The angels whisper, he's afraid not of you, but of what he becomes in your presence. You make him feel. And feeling, for someone who's been taught that emotions equal danger, is terrifying. He was not raised to cry. He was not taught that tenderness could be a strength. Somewhere along the way, he learned to survive by pretending he didn't need anything. Didn't ache. Didn't break. But you see through that, don't you? You see the boy behind the man. The ache behind the smile. The longing in his eyes when he thinks you're not looking. And still, you do not judge. You hold space. The angels say, he wants to tell you everything. But he doesn't yet know how to speak a language of the heart that no one ever taught him. There are words caught in his throat. I miss you. I need you. I'm scared. But vulnerability feels like exposure. And exposure feels like loss. He fears that if he reveals his mess to you, you'll walk away. So he offers you distance instead of depth. Masks instead of truth. Not because he doesn't trust you, but because he doesn't yet trust himself. You didn't make him afraid. You made him real. And that, dear soul, is what love does. It unearths what we've buried to survive. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. Let go. Not because you don't care, but because holding on cannot force timing into alignment. The angels say, you've already done what your soul came to do in his life. Now let love choose its own rhythm. You are not losing him. You are releasing the illusion that love must arrive in the way you imagined. You are surrendering, not to despair, but to grace. This is not the end. This is the beginning of what's true. If he returns, let it be not because you waited, but because you lived. And in that living, your light became irresistible. And if he doesn't, trust that love still found its way through you. You were never meant to chase what's divine. You were meant to become it. The angels whisper, what is yours cannot be threatened. What is not yours cannot be held. So rest, dear soul. Rest in the knowledge that nothing was wasted. Every glance, every silence, every prayer. They shifted energy. They healed something. They opened up a heart that had long been asleep. You were the angel in his storm. And he will remember that long after the winds have calmed. You don't need to prove your worth to be chosen. You are already chosen. By heaven. By purpose. By every moment that continues to stand in awe of how deeply you loved without needing to be loved back on your timetable. Let go, and allow the sacred to unfold. Be still, and know that I am God. Psalm 46 verse 10.